Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a podcast. Rather, welcome to a new format that we have here, an Arsenal fans podcast. Our own Arsenal Mumbai AFTV. We are yet to name this officially. We will figure out eventually. Do comment in your suggestions if you have any. Vishwam do has a few suggestions, but apart from that, if you also have any suggestions, do chip in with your suggestions. But for now, we are just Arsenal fans in India, Mumbai, trying to share our thoughts on. We'll be here throughout the season. We'll do a monthly wrap up or bi-weekly as feasible as we can, and we'll introduce the panel. In fact, we meeting, most of us are meeting each other for the first time ever. We've had a WhatsApp group for about 10 years, and this is the first time we have a voice to those WhatsApp messages. So I welcome one by one. From to my top left, Vishwam. welcome to the Welcome to the podcast. You can give a brief introduction, how long you've been an Arsenal fan, and yeah, how much, what do you.
I think
Yeah.
I started supporting in 2006,
Mhm.
towards six season end. So since then, quite regular.
Since that Champions League
And
final, is it?
yeah, yeah. But I used to watch like not as frequently, but it started then. And I joined the group in 2012, 11, 12, I guess. Huh.
2013,
2012, I
yeah.
joined the group. And so I've known everybody for some time. And we've had good debates and interesting celebrations as well. So good to be here.
Amazing debate.
Welcome, Vishwam. Next up, Ashish, Menon. Welcome to the podcast. You may introduce yourself as
Yes,
well, how
thank
long you've been an
you.
Arsenal fan, etc.
So, like Vishwam, yes, I started supporting Arsenal in 2006. No specific reason. I like the jersey. I used to play football with my friends, so I used to find the jersey very attractive. But trust me, since then, the craze and madness for this team has been the top peak. All those Champions League nights, being followed from time to time. And I remember like, वो time पे
On
school
the
होता
10
था.
twos.
Mom used to get up at 6 a.m. and still watching matches. Maybe शायद extra time or something. So वो वहां से पता चलता था कि बंदे का मैडनेस कुछ अलग लेवल पे है. And yeah, I joined the group in 2014, I guess. I guess Paritosh added me because we used to watch matches together. So he said that group hai. So let's be a part of the group and add more to this crazy madness for this. That's it, guys.
Yep. Welcome, and we can see your favorite player behind you. So we'll be looking forward to your thoughts on him. Raunak, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you
So
may
I'll
introduce
start.
yourself. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I've been an Arsenal fan since 2008 or 9 because the first jersey which I had got was of Robin Van Persie. Since
Ooh.
then, I was quite intrigued
Look at
with
those faces.
it,
Look
it.
at
It
those
turned out to
faces.
be a bitter memory in the latter stages, but at first I was quite intrigued. What
100%.
is football in general? Then I started watching our games. Then my father was a Barca fan, so I had an idea कि football teams ऐसा सब खेलते हैं. So once I got into it, then I cherished the memories which we had got while we won the first FA Cup after such a long time. Then after that, I became a member in the year 2015 or 16, I guess, because of Ayush.
Uh-huh.
And since then, I was quite inactive for the first 3 years. Like, if I was just coexisting in the group. I was
Right.
reading everyone's chats. I was, enjoying the debates with the popcorn in my hand. But since the last 2 years, I've been, up for it. And I really, really hope that we have a great time ahead.
Perfect. Welcome. And we now welcome Sahil Apte. Welcome to the podcast, Sahil.
Yeah, so like all the other guys, I would say I've been a fan since around 2008 due to a certain guy called Cesc Fabregas, of course. And I used to like at that time, Arsenal used to be like, we don't create superstars or we don't buy superstars, we create them. So I used to love that mentality of the team back then. And I've been on the group, I would say, from 2013, 14-ish. So yeah, looking forward for this podcast for sure.
Absolutely welcome. It's crazy how most of our influences are now. I mean, we have a bittersweet memory with them. Plus,
Right.
now we we
Uh,
buy a lot of superstars. Is enough of making them. We have to buy as much as 100 million maybe to buy
So
one.
we should- I
Yeah.
have one superstar in
100%, 100%, Ashish. With you.
Greatest of all time.
Yes.
La- Last but not the least, only person that I've known in this entire group for a while. Welcome, Siddhesh. And from what I know, an absolute Cesc fan. But yeah, you can take it forward from there, Siddhesh.
I've been watching since 2008. Back when Saurabh was one of the five people I knew who would watch Premier League football regularly. And yeah, so back then there were two choices, either United or Arsenal. United would win everything and Arsenal would play football like it's art. I chose art.
Nice.
Fabregas, yes. But yeah, so Fabregas की बात नहीं करते. And that's it. Been in the group since 2013, I think, and been having amazing debates with all these guys, especially Sahil, Saurabh, and Vishwam. Yeah, we are the core group of those debates.
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah,
All right.
back in the core time.
Perfect, perfect. Welcome, Siddhesh. Looking forward to your thoughts. Yeah, so we can quickly get on to it. We can start with the season so far, right? I mean, of course, last season we've had let's not discuss last season at all. Let's discuss this season, the game so far. I'll just bring up on screen so that it's fresh in our memories what we are discussing exactly. So yeah, we can start anywhere. Sahil, maybe if you want to go first, or anyone else, the thoughts so far, the game so far, your first thoughts basically. Go for it.
I've always been confused. The one thing that we have seen is Arteta has tinkered around a lot, and
Yeah.
we have not gone to the gear four that we were used to in the season before. Like if you remember the last season, we were just going on guns blazing through the preseason and then continued. And initially we ran out of gas. So I think that is a thought process from his side in a sense to just try to tinker a bit right now and use as many players as we could. But yeah, I am not sure about like the results that we have. I'm very concerned about the clean sheets, the lack of clean sheets that
Right.
we managed to keep in these games. So yeah, as we know, the season is long, and you know how it works with the with City in a sense where they don't go to the gear four from start, and they eventually start building up throughout the season. So I think so. It might be something of that, but yeah, there are sure some concerns, but we'll see. The season is still long.
Yeah, if you notice here, right, guys? I mean, since let's also continue. Let's also include the Community Shield. I think the only game we got a clean sheet in was the game that we got a red card in, the Palace
Exactly.
game, and all the other games we've at least conceded one. So yeah, that's a real concern. Vishwam, what do you think about that? The defense, and what are your thoughts in general of the game so far?
I think compared to last year, our game, we have, I think, unpopular, but we have a little bit more control on our game. Last year, the game would start and immediately would attack, and then, goals would come. But this year, I think we are not so aggressive. We take our time in the build up, and we have new players as well. Like Timber played pretty well in whatever games he played. He had a lot more different dynamics than Zinchenko. But yes, clean sheet is a concern. I think it also is happening because of a lot of defensive changes.
Hmm.
Gabriel Magalhaes is not there, so that's a lot of centre backs are interchanging. Granit Xhaka is used to win a lot more duels than I think what Havertz is doing. And
Is it?
also party shifting to right back. So
Mhm.
a lot of iteration, but I still feel we are having more control than last year. We are building it slow, and we like almost every game we played so far, we had 78 to 80% possession, right?
Mhm.
Even against United in the first half. So I think that's what we are going to control more, and goals will come
I
eventually.
I think I maybe would not agree to that completely, because I think yeah, possession wise you're absolutely right there. I mean, mostly we've got 70% in all games. United game also 60 odd. I think you're right there. But yeah, control wise, Ashish, Raunak, Siddhesh, if you have different thoughts on that, please go ahead.
Honestly, I feel sort of see in context with what Sahil said, I am a bit confused with Mikel's squad selection sometimes that he has made this season with Gabriel being benched in the first three games. I still don't find any specific reason, or neither he has given any kind of a reason why he was benched for the first three
Right.
games. And then all of a sudden he's brought against United, and we could see a complete different entire defense out there. That goal which we considered in the beginning, that was a typical Rashford. So I wouldn't say that was something that our defense considered. That was all because of the superstar in the background who gave up that position in the forward line there. In regards with position and the control, I can see was difference in comparison to the last season. We have good control over our position. We don't lose the balls in those vital areas, which we used to do. And I feel that would be something as a key point for us if we play against City this season. I somewhere down the lane feel we can give them a tough match, a tough game this time, and no, don't lose those games against them and screw up the entire season. So I feel that's something better. In regards with squad selection, I'm still a bit confused. Why aren't we using Trossard? Why is it that we are just using him in the
Yeah.
last 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Because I do see him very efficient with this game, very sharp with this game. The way he takes the ball into the D line and feeds it into the box. I feel that use him more. He can be of more use in the Premier League rather than you deciding him to use in the Champions League and FA and EF like that.
Yeah. Trossard is a good point. Raunak, Siddhesh, if you want to chip in as well.
Or I'll go.
Yeah, Siddhesh.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so this season, I mean, we've had a lot more possession, but I feel we've been lacking in certain ways in our attack compared to last season. I mean, we are not as quick in attacking as we were. I mean, back last season, Martinelli, when he gets the ball, he just, pays the other guy. And this season, maybe it's lack of confidence or instructions, I don't know.
Hmm.
But it has been a bit slow, and we are passing a bit more rather than taking the man on or playing that final pass or a long ball. And I think it, I think it is because of there's a change in system and obviously squad selection and not having Gabriel in the back. I think it does, take the confidence away from the defense because he is a strong defender. I mean, we can't deny it. Last season, he was arguably like it is out of him and Saliba who is the best one. And this season, when like Gabriel came back against United, I think it was the best performance this year. We had much more control in
Yes.
every phase of the play, apart from that Rashford goal. But yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it comes down to confidence. I think Gabriel brings more confidence to the defense, and that builds up our play, and we play much more free flowing. I mean, the first three games we weren't so free flowing, and the United game, like you could see, the Arsenal fluid football is back. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think Arteta will learn. And regarding Trossard, I mean, I am one of the guys who think like he should start. I mean,
Hmm.
he is that skillful. He can play multiple positions, and we've been seeing like Arteta has been sticking in with Havertz, and recently we've seen Fabio Vieira coming off the bench. Like fair play to Fabio, like he's been providing and he's been stepping up, but we need space for Trossard too because if he gets unsettled, then we don't know how is he going to perform later on. So yeah,
Right. But the only question here is, I think, is spoiled for choice, right? Like, who do you bench to
yeah,
play
exactly.
Trossard? That's
Point
the
Trossard,
that's the
exactly.
question.
Because I mean that's the thing. Martinelli needs to step up or lose his place, and
Yeah.
that's the thing about having a strong squad and creating competitions, healthy
Correct.
competitions. Everybody will step up, and
Correct.
that's how it should be.
Right. Ronak?
Yeah, so there has been a difference, and I'd like to add one point. The way in which we control the game now and the way we used to, we can all sum it up after looking at one player, that is Odegaard. Last year, Odegaard used to, find those tight spaces. And nowadays, you can see he is trying to, he has, he's more of a,
Direct.
how should I frame it? He doesn't find those spaces, but we are trying to control the game and open up the opposition. Why we are playing in such a position game is because I think we are trying to open up the opposition by not trying to find those spaces and or by disrupting their possession. If like I've what from what I've been seeing. Odegaard is one big example. Why? Because I mean, last year we used to see him, giving those through balls and those, the passes which Odegaard is known for. And nowadays it's more about him regressing the ball, him trying to,
Post pace, yeah.
press the opposition and or shooting from distance.
Hmm.
So the position has been changing because, and it will take time, but I feel that to beat a team like City, we have to open up the whole squad and not find those key spaces or the blocks.
Right.
Because City, for a team like City, will not, you know, let the opposition score without us disrupting their position, their positions of their players. So this is something which Arteta has been trying, and it's been like 4 or 5 games, so it won't
Hmm.
matter much now. But I feel with Declan Rice now, we are seeing him playing at position number 6. Firstly, he used to play at 8 when
Yeah.
he started with Partey. Why we started with Partey at RB? I think it is because Zinchenko wasn't available at the moment, and Arteta wanted to have that dynamic stability. That even if we don't have Zinchenko or Timber in a squad, Partey is that option. But the Gabriel one is still questionable
Hmm.
because if whoever may be the defender, whoever may be the left back or the right back, even right center back, but Gabriel has to be there because he has that physical, you know,
Assurity.
that positioning mentality which even Saliba doesn't possess. Saliba is quite weak in duels. If we can, if I've been observing that from the latter stages of the last season till now, and he needs Gabriel in the center. That is what I feel. With regards to position and the squad, the change in tactics, it is because we are trying to. I feel we are trying to just open up the team position or the positions of the players rather than finding those spaces in between those players.
Right. I think that's a good point in terms of basically what we can put it down to is new dynamics, right? Arteta is looking for new dynamics. I think last year it was very one-dimensional. Most of our criticism for him was everything is very one-dimensional, but it worked. I mean, it worked. But can you do that for more than one season? No. And even in fact, even towards the end of the season, teams had unlocked us. I mean, they had come to know what is Arsenal's gameplay, who are the key players, and we had about just 11, 12 players who play, and that was our weakness towards the business end of the season. So this year, like Raunak said, I think unpredictability is the word that's been thrown around a lot with Arsenal, City. So yeah, Sahil, I had read
This
one during one of the
this
debates.
year,
Yeah,
I'm
Raunak.
sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt.
I also wanted. Go on, Ronak. Sorry.
This year,
Yeah.
the mentality which I think the team is going on with is how can we beat the City team?
Hmm.
Yes,
Or
Because
teams
true.
like
everything
That's
City.
which is
something I would
revolving
agree with
around
Ron.
our
True.
plan is how to beat that super team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It won't happen, within that game. It has to be a process. So we are trying to implement it game by game, and it will be fruitful. I hope it is, but let's see what lies ahead.
Yeah. Basically, we're just preparing
Yeah.
for
Also,
Champions
I
League
wanted to.
indirectly.
Yeah, I also wanted to add one more thing. Like, if you ask me why we suffered last season, at the end of the season, I would say not was the one reason was the injuries, but
Yeah.
the other reason was all the backup players we had. They weren't match fit when they're needed. And right now you're seeing he's playing Fabio Vieira's, then you can say Trossard, but a player like Kiwi or Tomiyasu. So I think so that might be also a reason. And somehow I feel we are still in that Europa League hangover. So we have been starving for the Champions League thing. So now comes a tournament where we have to be completely focused on, unlike the Europa League where we are like, okay, if you can't win this, we'll probably end up getting top four or something and go into the Champions League. Either way, we are also a thought process maybe of, trying to get in more players as soon as he can in that this end of the season, so we don't suffer at the last.
Plus, I feel we are now playing as per the strength of our players because Saka, like Saka, if we can observe Saka, he likes to drop in that number 10 number 10 position sometimes. So
Yeah.
now he can drop, and Odegaard shifts to the wings. And similarly, Declan Rice is playing in his very the DM position or the number 6. And so last year around it was more about Arteta's tactics, and now it is more about observing the opposition and understanding the tactics of the opposition and implementing and changing the dynamics of our team.
Yeah, I think it's important to first build a base, right? Firstly, your players need to know how to play. Firstly, your players need to know what the philosophies are, what the principles of plays are, and then you can build all of these unpredictabilities over it. And you can always fall back to your principles. कि चलो ये है positional play, ऐसा खेलना है. But now that we have established this, okay, now let's build something to play against the big teams. So I think yeah, last season was important. Last season was necessary, and and we also learned the hard way why we need more dynamics, why we need more depth, all of that. Vishwam, you also have a good you also had good debates with respect to depth, right? So yeah, you want to talk about it, Arsenal's
Yeah,
depth this season as opposed to last season, and your favorite
I
player,
think
Rob Holding.
the business was, yeah, man. Business was good this year. I think I still feel one Saliba injury and we're in trouble.
Yeah,
We could have gotten a loan signing,
please touch a good
right?
nearby you.
Come on, man. I get get some deadline day drama, right? But sadly, we did not have any. But I still think depth is enough. In sense, if your goal is Premier League, I think we are contenders again, right? Timber's injury is not as bad as we feared. Maybe he's back by March, right? Maybe towards the second half.
That's still bad. That's still bad.
Yeah, right. But yeah,
That's still
it's
bad.
still not great.
We should have replaced him or like gotten a sign. Like you
What
said,
is
like
some?
loan signing is correct. Loan signing is correct.
Honestly, like you said, Vishwam, there should have been some kind of a deadline signing, and in
Yeah,
terms
yeah,
of depth,
exactly. Yeah,
Or
yeah, in
we
terms
shouldn't
of
have
depth, I
kept
think
Especially
we
Tierney.
need to back in the defensive midfield. Even when Partey is gone, see, you can't put the entire responsibility on Declan to
correct,
take care of the
correct.
defense.
I mean that's the thing
Point
with
तक
the
बंदा
team.
खेलेगा एक saturation पे भाई वो भी
Right?
Yeah,
then we blame him. So
I
it's
guess
very important. Partey is injury prone, guys. He has been injury prone.
डीएम
So
में
it's
तो इट्स ओके, डीएम में वी हैव जॉर्जिनियो, तो डीएम का तो कोई टेंशन नहीं है.
That
इट्स मोर अबाउट द
that
सेंटर बैक्स.
Center back, correct.
या
But
एंड even if
Timber was
किसी
a
को
perfect for that
साइन
center
नहीं
back
किया
for
तो
that
वी शुड हैव
role.
केप्ट टियरनी आई गेस.
we should have kept Tierney. I felt we shouldn't
probably.
have
yeah,
kept Tierney.
I feel the
At the
same.
It
same
was a
time,
gamble.
some of the interesting signings I think we did. David Raya. My God, I mean, we are over the whole Runarsson and Matt Turner phase. We need depth in keepers.
Proper keeper.
Yeah. So happy about that. And Eddie has stepped up. My God,
Yes,
the player who we
yes.
thought was depth, man is scoring every match. So happy about it.
Let's talk about
And
that, right? That's a good point, Vishwam. Let's talk about a centre forward situation. I mean, I don't remember the last time we've been so stacked up and not worried about if not our first centre forward, then who, right? Right now, it's like if Jesus is gone, oh, we do. Eventually, the fan bases now can trust Eddie. Finally, we're in that position wherein he is trustworthy, even for the fan base, not only for the coaches. The coaches always trusted him, but even the fan base now trusts Eddie. And if not Eddie, you have Kai. If not Kai, you have Trossard. Let's talk about that situation. Like that's a great one of the best
And Martinelli.
examples.
yeah, Martinelli. Yeah, I think we have a great depth in strike. So good for now. Jesus is back. Man, he came on against United. Instant impact. Those small
Yeah.
touches in the penalty area. I think we need that. But I think in the longer run, maybe a year or two,
Trim.
we may be wanting to get some of the Oshmeens or Ferguson type players,
Yeah, yeah.
right? I think Arsenal at this point deserve it. We have a world class midfielder, world class centre back, get a world class striker.
And we have
now. I'm not
started
saying
we have
Eddie or Jesus are
started
bad.
scouting.
Hmm.
Yeah. Sahil, I think, is one of the biggest supporters of Edu. So, what do you feel, Sahil? Where should we go?
I think he messed up in the final stages. I still feel like
Oh,
Yeah,
come
he
on.
did. He did.
the thing
Outgoing.
about our transfer business, I've seen either it's not reactive or it is very reactive. There's no balance. So this time, yeah, he did sign good players at the start of the season. We are not into the whole mess of all the clubs wanting DMs and everything. But then he had to be reactive when it was during the deadline day when Timber got injured
True.
because I'm scared about that because I am not very trustful of Zinchenko playing a defensive role if that might be a case, say in the future, and I don't want Party to play a right back again. So
That's
I'm
a
not sure
gamble.
about this
Taking
window, to be
Party into
very
right
fair.
back is a gamble. That's
Yeah,
totally a gamble.
At
I
this
guess
stage of his career.
it's more about trusting the academy because this year I think Arteta might be integrating the academy players as well.
Yeah.
Like Walters, we've been hearing about
Walters
Walters.
wasn't selected for Champions League. Surprising.
Guess who
Lino
was?
Sousa was.
Yeah,
Cedric.
no,
Cedric.
but I
Lino
think so. There was some kind of a thing
Lino
that I
Sousa.
read on X, sorry, Twitter, saying that because Lino Sousa is someone who cannot be registered in some homegrown quota, Walters still can be registered. It was something I read. I need to check that up and I'll tell
I
you
think
guys.
that's for Premier League, wherein you need not register under 21 players. But I think Champions League you have to. I'm not sure too. I'm not sure too.
Yeah, exactly. Because they have done it with
Cedric
Timber as well.
Cedric
Yeah.
was registered in the Champions League.
Yeah, Cedric has been the
It's
Champions League.
2023 and we still have Cedric in our squad, man.
But we'd much rather see Walters get that opportunity, right? Instead of
Cedric
Cedric.
is fine. Elneny is still registered in the champion.
Oh,
इतना बुरा नहीं है एलिनी come on
yeah. But it's like
इतना बुरा नहीं है
we are surplus with number 6 now. I mean, let's
Yeah,
also
exactly.
include Partey, right? It's Declan, Partey,
yes
Jorginho, Elneny. Like we have no
World class backup. World class
world
backup.
class backup है
Yeah.
अपने
we
पास
don't need
but
that
yeah
though. Itna
We can we can get White and Timber to fill in as well. Like if the
Yeah.
situation is ready.
The John
After
Stones role. White can do that.
it's
Yeah.
the
Paisa players.
Swiss knife FC hai bhai apan. Like we talk about players, they can play like almost every position as 4 players as able backup. Like center forward, we have 4 players. Okay,
Yeah.
except for right wing guys.
Yeah.
Right
Aka
and
is
left
carrying
side.
the team.
Aka
भाई
थक
डर
गया
लगता है ये
बेचारा।
बच्चे के लिए थोड़ा पर ठीक है
Tired man.
जेसूस
What a
जेसूस है बस
Nelson, how can we forget?
राइट पे नेल्सन नॉट श्योर
अरे
right पे
never
Nelson
thrown
Trossard.
away.
is left
He
Even
scored a goal
Trossard
at
can play.
Anfield.
I think there was one match last season where Trossard was kept at right wing and it was
left and right wing.
difficult
Yes,
to
he
watch
was.
that game. It
Yeah.
was difficult to watch that. Like he could not cut in. He didn't know what to do. He was stuck on that right wing. But ठीक है यार. I mean we
But
needed a right
Trossard as
wing.
a player also is very confusing to me. Like when he starts, he doesn't end up playing well. But when he comes off the bench, he does well. So I'm not sure should we start him or not because
Oliver
Same
Giroud of
goes with
2025.
Fabio. You know, there are some players who need to be
yeah,
kept as a super sub. Like why does Pep play Foden as a backup or as a substitute? There's a reason to that because there are some players who are known as a super sub, and I feel Trossard, the Vieiras are a part of those.
yeah,
I feel it is unfair to term any player as a super sub. I think why Fabio Vieira, in my opinion, is Fabio Vieira का अभी भी this season we haven't seen him engage in duels. अभी गेम स्टेट्स के हिसाब से तुम देखोगे Fabio Vieira जो भी गेम्स में आया he's come in game states wherein you need to win and you're losing. And that is when the opposition is defense piche hai pura. And Fabio Vieira has to just put in balls, just find spaces, just find runs. He has to engage in 0 duels. And that is
yeah,
very excels. If he has a game from minute 1 wherein the opposition is sitting back, he will excel. Like Brentford last season, for example, or any. I mean, if you look at any wherein the defense is just sitting in a low block, Fabio Vieira will do well. But yeah, still want to see if he's improved on his dueling ability. Let's see
Yeah.
what this is.
Even if you think about it, I'm not sure if he has the engine to go an intense 90. Like at least if you see Odegaard, he has that physical toughness to
Yeah.
keep running, even if it's
Hmm.
50, 70, 90. Not sure.
Fabio Vieira was a disaster last season, guys. Let me elaborate it. I mean, मेरे को ऐसा लगा यार इसको साइन क्यों किया हमने? I mean, इसके पास ना बॉल रखने का एबिलिटी है, ना कंट्रोल है. He used to just give away the ball in the most vital places, you know. And then फिर वो पूरा डिफेंडर्स पे आता था to get back the ball. So, but then he's showing some kind of class this season, like being a
Final
substitute. The game against, I guess, Fulham, he was the one who turned it all back to
yeah.
our territory. So I feel that was something good. But like Saurabh said, you cannot term someone as a super sub because these are some players on whom we can actually rely from minute one if we actually want.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can try once this season. Maybe Trossard, he is doing well. Maybe give him a chance in Champions League, maybe in Premier League and positions के साथ थोड़ा खेल के देखो. इतना one dimensional gamble ले रहे हो तो करके देखो यार क्या होता है. Let's see.
Yeah. And I think we can come to our one of the most talked topics within the fan base, Kai Havertz. So I'd like to listen to few opinions on Kai Havertz, on Ashish's favorite player. I hope Siddhesh is still around. We can't see you, but yeah. Anyway, you can come in, Siddhesh, when you're okay. Ashish,
He
yeah.
didn't want to speak on this, so he left
So
the topic.
he's just like Kai Havertz, the way you described him. We can't see him, but hope he comes in.
He's there.
Upstairs.
He's there. He's there. We
Back
know
with
he's
the
there.
stat and the timestamps.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Sahil, Raunak, whoever you want to start with Kai Havertz, your opinion on him so far.
I would want Vishwam to start this if you want. Maybe Vishwam can go start.
I
this
think,
one.
okay, I'll say it. I am a supporter of Kai Havertz. Okay. Couple of things. I
Official
think
PR.
like uh, anything that can go wrong is going wrong with Kai Havertz. Not in terms of like, I'm not saying at Chelsea he was bad, right? But look at the few examples. His confidence is not great, right? I think Kai Havertz is a very confidence player. There are some players when they have confidence, they play well, but when they don't, it's gonna go quite bad. Second is I don't think he should start matches. He could come in as a sub, right? I don't think he has gotten any time to integrate. He's just like, hey, आ गया है, डाल दो इसको 70 million में खरीदा है, इसको डाल दो अंदर, sort of a thing. And
Pretty
he
sure Mikel
is
doesn't think like that.
yeah, he's good for specific matches. If you are going to play
City.
him against like big teams, City, Pool, and all, to hold up, to navigate play, to be that physical presence, I think he'll do great. Not sure against Nottingham Forest or
Fulham.
I don't know, teams who play a relatively low block. A little hard on him, but I would still, back him, I guess, till at least 10-15 games.
Yeah. Siddhesh?
Yeah.
Yeah, by the side, I heard you call me. Don't do that. Yeah, with Kai, I mean, I see what he can do and what the idea is behind it, but his execution is never, consistent. There are moments in games where I'm like, yeah, I mean, now I can see why you are in the team, but then the next minute it'll be like, bro, like सीधा pass तो कर यार, वैसा scene है. Like if you remember the Fulham game, like there's nobody there. He can clearly see, but he still played the ball.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing with Kyle. Like I haven't lost my patience yet, but I do think like he shouldn't be in the starting 11. I mean, 4 games, you have to make a strong impact because there are other players waiting. Like you've got Fabio Vieira providing now, you've got Trossard waiting. So I think like I'm not giving up on Kai, but he needs to step up and like Vishwam said, like 10-15 games to देने चाहिए. But कैसा like we are challenging for a title now. We can't, wait around for players to, come on their own and
Flourish.
settle down. We need a league title. Like it's been a while. We need one. So that's the thing. That's the only reason I would lose patience with Kai. I mean, 2 साल पहले आता तो I don't think इतना issue होता, but after the last season we need to win something. So that's the only thing.
Yeah. Ashish?
Well, क्या बोलूं? I won't say कि he is bad. I did watch his game against France yesterday. He came in as a substitute. He gave in one assist. The confidence level that I saw in his game yesterday in comparison to all the games that he has started with Arsenal was way different, I can say.
True.
So यहाँ पे एक क्वेश्चन बैठता है कि भाई तेरे को आर्सेनल में आता तो प्रॉब्लम क्या? What happens to you when you're selected in the playing 11 here? Like Vishwam said, chances उसको दिया जा रहा है काफी, and Mikel is backing him for every game. After every game, the question that is being asked to Mikel is about Kai Havertz because he is in big question, and every time
now he's
the comment
inventing
that
answers.
Yeah, during training,
Also talking about his wife.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, during training, he is the best. That's what comes from him. So I don't know if Mikel is just seeing his training performance and selecting him for playing 11, or is it like Vishwam said, भाई 70 में ले लिया है तो भाई खिलाना पड़ेगा, लोग बोलेंगे क्या है भाई क्यों नहीं खिला रहे, उठाया पैसा डाला, जस्ट लाइक पेपे, निकोलस पेपे का हाल जैसा हो जाएगा. So
ऐसे सब नहीं बोलते
रिमेम्बर
भाई, ये सब नहीं बोलते.
ये विलियन का
I
सिचुएशन
तो
का याद
मेरा
आ
मेरा
गया.
ये पॉइंट है कि यूनाइटेड वाले गेम में द फर्स्ट गोल दैट वी कंसिडर्ड अगेंस्ट यूनाइटेड, द रैशफोर्ड वाला गोल, आई
Yeah.
फील दैट ऑल स्टार्टेड विद हिज मिस पासिंग देयर.
Hmm.
So I feel that his mispassing and plus the one sitter he missed against United, he could have just scored one wonderful goal in the beginning, and शायद उसका वो सारा जो गालियां वो खा रहा था वो कवर अप कर सकता था वहां पे. I feel at this moment he is worse than he was at Chelsea. Let me tell you. Maybe मुझे ऐसा लगता है मिकेल ने शायद उसका वो सिटी वाला गोल जो उसने चैंपियंस लीग में मारा वो सोच के उसको खरीदा कि भाई अभी हम चैंपियंस लीग मिला तो ये वहां पे खेलेगा, हमको चैंपियंस लीग जिताएगा. आई फील अगर ऐसा कुछ सोच के वी हैव टेकन इट्स अ रॉन्ग थिंग. वी स्टिल हैव टाइम. आई फील थोड़ा पेशेंस रख सकते हैं अनलेस सही में उसको गाली मिलेगा एक दिन, मे बी वी वोंट सी हिम इन द प्लेइंग 11 एंड विल बी बेंच फॉरएवर. I feel at this moment his confidence is very low, and with this kind of uh, inefficiency and confidence, he can cost us games. He can really cost us games, which we ought to win. Abhi just games against we have games being coming up against Everton, so stubborn defense है कभी कभी, they won't let us score. कुछ टीम्स ऐसे होते हैं कि भाई हम नहीं स्कोर करेंगे तो हम तुमको भी स्कोर करने देंगे नहीं, एंड अभी उनको पता है कि भाई हैवर्ट्ज जैसा प्लेयर है कि भाई ऑलरेडी डाउन है, सो तकलीफ दो इसको, इसको पकड़ के रखो, ट्राई टू सी टू इट दैट ही डजंट स्कोर. I feel this is something that is causing a problem. But at the same moment, I feel कि यार थोड़ा confidence build up कर देगा ना ये बंदा तो he can just become a real
Yeah.
superstar for us. He
And
can.
confidence is one thing which you can't, like, it's not like a skill, right? कि इस पे काम करते रहे. It just comes. I mean, the more you play, the more better actions you do. It just
Maybe
comes.
वही मिकेल कर रहा है उसके साथ कि भाई तू
Yeah.
और खेल तो तेरे को शायद मिल जाएगा खेलने को. But then every time doing that, like अभी we are
Right.
going to play against some, we have the North London derby coming up. भाई
Yeah.
टॉटनहम का ये बार अलग ही अंगार गेम चल रहा है.
What better game to score than in a
ये
North
post
London derby, right?
Yeah.
For Kai.
ट्रस्ट मी, उन लोग उनका गेम ही कुछ अलग है. उसके अगेंस्ट काई हावर्ट्ज ऐसे जाके उधर हक देगा ना भाई तो गेम है अपना, मतलब खत्म. वी आर
but
डन.
at the same time I don't think he's a midfielder. मतलब मेरे को
Yeah.
लगता
नहीं
नहीं
नहीं,
है
उसके
वो
पोजीशन के साथ भी काफी
खेल
खिलवाड़
सकता
किया
है.
है.
Yeah,
आई
yeah.
फील that's also causing a problem for him. It's better to make him play in his natural position and make him thrive there. Don't play with his game. Maybe that is maybe majorly causing a problem for him to actually get settled with the squad and play his game. I mean, that's what I feel.
It'll be interesting to see what happens now post the international break, since
Also,
you know.
sorry. Also, like if you are talking about low confidence, तो वो बेचारा बहुत सफर कर चुका है. Now, if you see how Germany has ended up with their
I
coach
know.
being sacked, okay, the last season, whatever happened with Chelsea, and he has been through a lot. And Germany, maybe to be very honest, the only real competition he has is Timo Werner, which we
Mm.
can't call him a competition, as we
Mm.
all know. So I think so. He needed this kind of a change. Plus, and I feel, very over scrutinized by many people. Like there are players who have done way worse than him, but this guy's name will pop up everywhere. So yeah, it's just very he's unlucky right now. Let's see how it turns up in a
It's
sense.
all because of the price tag, I feel, Sahil, because हमने उसको 65-70 में उठाया तो वो एक ये बन जाता है कि भाई ये फ्लॉप ही बनेगा.
Yeah,
तो
very true.
वो प्रेशर उस पर ऑलरेडी
Also
था कि भाई इधर से बहुत महंगे प्राइस में उठाया, एंड इट हैज बिकम वेरी ऑब्वियस कि अभी कुछ भी हो गया कि अगर दूसरा भी हगेगा तो भाई मेरे पे ना माने.
Exactly, exactly.
It's
also I
going to be
feel
that way.
Plus, you have a lot of
he's
Chelsea fans waiting to pounce on him, right? I mean,
Ah, yeah.
they
Yes,
so
yeah, yeah.
desperately
true,
want their players to
true.
fail, and you have Chelsea fans all around you, no matter what, be
Because
it any
Jorginho is
team.
really doing well whenever he is coming in the squad. He has really played well. So that's one another big minus factor for Chelsea fans कि भाई Jorginho तो खेल रहा है वहाँ पे, तो ये हगेगा तो और मजा आ जाएगा. तो कुछ तो हम बोल सकते हैं.
It's
ये
not
खुद तो हग
just
रहे हैं वो लोग.
Mount, तुम Mount ले लो, तुम कोई भी ले लो, तो all the players that they sell, they're waiting for him to fail, and फिर वो vibe एक
Fail,
बार
yeah,
चला
yeah.
जाता है. Plus, those missed shots don't help his cause. The only positive that I've always maintained about Harvard is he's at the right position at the right time in terms of movements, in terms of off ball, on ball, दोनों देख लो. Right position at the right time. It is just the action once he is on the ball. that is Sarsfield. Be it shooting, be it passing, be it turning, whatever. But right position, right pressing ultimate. I mean, he's been against United, he pressed so well. बस एक बार पैर पे बॉल आ जाता है फिर थोड़ा
I really wanted him to score against United. I was really
yeah.
wanting him to score. And वो पैर पे गिरा ना, मेरे को लगा भाई ये मार देगा अभी, भाई लेकिन ये कर दिया ना घाण उधर उसने.
Also,
Ronak,
do you
I
guys
don't
think like we were searching for a Xhaka replacement in Havertz, but we have got a Xhaka replacement in Odegaard now? Because the goals that Xhaka used to score, now Odegaard is scoring out of nowhere, but Havertz is still trying to figure out himself in a sense.
I guess
So,
Raunak has to say something.
yeah.
अगर लाइक किसी ने फ्रांस वाला गेम देखा रहेगा तो हावर्ड्स का जो असिस्ट था इट वाज फ्रॉम द राइट
Yes.
आरईएम पोजीशन.
Yes.
So it's more about are we willing to sacrifice Odegaard's preferred position for to include Havertz, or if not, then for me Havertz is a centre forward
and
because
Perfect.
ओडेगार्ड का जो गोल था
LCM
वो एलसीएम से था. yeah,
हाँ
yeah, way
exactly.
before.
Okay.
If
But in
because
general,
for Havertz to fit in our squad, I feel कि या तो उसको CF खिलाओ या तो उसको RCM खिलाओ because the left side is not made for him. And even उसको राइट में थोड़ा डिफेंसिव कवर भी मिलेगा in terms of वाइट. लेफ्ट में जिंचेंको रहता है जो खुद ही आधा टाइम अपनी पोजीशन में नहीं होता, वो इन्वर्टेड रोल में है जो भी है, बट डिफेंसिवली इवन जिना इज अ लायबिलिटी एंड इफ वी ऐड हैवर्ट्स टू इट तो फिर तो वो मैन्यू वाला सिस्टम ही आएगा अपना हर गेम में.
Also, that is also a factor if you see कि वो कितने अलग left backs के साथ खेला है. I don't think he has had a stable partnership with anyone. In pre-season,
Yes.
he had Kivior, and then he had Timber. Timber got injured. Now suddenly Zinchenko came in. So that might be also a factor. We don't know.
But that's all about adapting to the squad, right?
Yeah.
I won't say that would be a reason, a very major reason for him to not play.
Yeah,
I
like
totally
doing the
agree.
basic things तो वो तो करना ही चाहिए.
वही
But उसको, I feel the pressure is too much on him at this moment. I feel जो वो खेल रहा है, and the position I feel like Raunak is saying, उसके position के साथ थोड़ा खिलवाड़ मिकेल ने किया है, which is again adding up to the crisis. I feel it's better to make him play his position, or like Raunak said, he is a typical center forward. खिला दो उसको वहाँ पे यार. I feel he will start
बिकॉज वो
scoring us.
कम्युनिटी शील्ड में क्या गेम खेला था वो
क्या
Havertz,
खेला
बहुत मस्त
actually?
खेला था,
Actually,
Yeah.
He was given the
बहुत
role
बढ़िया
of
गेम
and he did it to
वो
perfection.
Ortega का कीपिंग काफी शार्प था तो he couldn't score. Otherwise वो मचा देता वो.
Also, not
game.
wasn't the greatest of connection with the ball, but I mean he was again right places, right time, pressing elite. I mean Rice or Kai tha upar. I mean that's a dream pressing pair right up front, like Rice and Kai.
Yeah.
Matlab, physical, dimag. I was now that we were talking about Kai's situation on the right, Odegaard on the left. Do we have matches where we can try these experiments? Right. I mean it brings us perfectly into the next segue, which is the upcoming games. That okay, next game Everton, against Sean Dyke. I would want a Kai up front, maybe your dual winning player.
फिजिकल प्रेजेंस चाहिए अप फ्रंट. यस,
But do you want to experiment? I don't know, not sure. उसके
I
बाद
would rather start with him.
स्केप्टिकल है बिकॉज एडी इज इन अ गुड फॉर्म, तो इवन उसको इंग्लैंड में भी इतना चांस मिला नहीं है, सो फॉर मिकेल टू नॉट डिप हिज कॉन्फिडेंस ही माइट बी ऑप्टिंग फॉर एडी एज ऑफ नाउ, बिकॉज वो उसका एक बार मोमेंटम चले गया तो इट वुड बी डिफिकल्ट इवेंचुअली फॉर अस, बिकॉज वो एज अ देखो मुझे तो लगता है एडी एज अ बैकअप ही रहने वाला है फॉर द सीजन, बट उसका कॉन्फिडेंस रहना बहुत जरूरी है.
I feel Eddie can be used. No, it's like in हिंदी में कहावत हथौड़ा गर्म है तो यूज करो यार. वो एक बार
Yeah.
ठंडा पड़
एग्जैक्टली,
गया
हाँ
तो
हाँ,
वो पूरा
एडी को
पूरा
नहीं
बंदा
हटाने
चला
वाला,
गया. एडी को
वो
हटाना
नहीं
नहीं है.
हटाएगा.
बे मतलब
वो खेल
साउथगेट
रहा
ने
है.
2 हफ्ता ठंडा रखा, थोड़ा गेम्स दे देता, मिनट्स दे देता.
Actually, he should have been
He
used.
should have done that.
No,
Yes.
but like as I said, like 2-3 days back, when his name came on the England international list, वो तभी ऐसा लगा नहीं it's a big deal. But if you see that a year ago we were talking about him changing
Ghana.
alliance to
Yeah.
Ghana, and then after a year he's getting selected for England. It's crazy the growth that guy has, and still people want him to prove for Arsenal. I'm not sure how it's working over there.
True. Not that he has a lot of elite talent up in front of him at England.
Yeah,
He has
exactly.
Wilson.
But he's doing something right. That's what I'm saying.
Correct.
So yeah.
Correct. Yeah, then we have our eventual return to Champions League at PSV. I mean, irrespective of the opponent, we are back. I mean, it will be crazy to look at that anthem, right? To hear that anthem back at the carpet.
Very,
So
very
20,
nostalgic, emotional, I would say.
just 7 days to
I
go.
was dying to hear it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be sobbing. मैं तो बहुत रोने वाला वो दिन.
Trust me, actually, बहुत ज़्यादा.
Siddhesh is the only
We
one
all
with
remember the
a.
last time we were there. We all
Does anybody
remember.
remember the last UCL game we played?
Exactly. That was exactly my question.
Don't want to.
Don't want to exactly delete that memory.
Who did we play against?
Fresh start.
Bayern Munich, I think.
God gave us a
बेकार था भाई, बेकार था.
God gave us a 6-year wait to erase all our Champions League memories and create fresh ones. So let's do that.
Trauma.
Yeah. So yeah,
Now we are
next
back.
again, Arsenal Tottenham, not an experimental game at all. Absolutely
Not
result
at all.
oriented game.
No gamble, nothing. It's better to always have a experienced squad there going in with
Yeah.
all
I
their
think
guns in it. I feel so.
PSV is an experimental game. We can try.
Yeah, you
And
can do that. PSV
I
this
don't-
time is not that.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I don't think so because first game है UCL का बहुत time बाद. We'll
Yeah,
go
but
in
3
yeah.
points.
fully loaded.
Unless that UCL this thing qualification to the next round is locked, don't experiment because
Hmm.
it's risky if we
I
go
think
out
I-
in the group stage. No, we
But
don't
But
want that.
even if we
Cut to Raya is
Even
playing
if we
inverted
experiment-
fullback.
Yeah, we never know that.
नहीं भाई ये सब नहीं करना.
Siddhesh, sorry, I stopped you there.
even if we experiment, I think we will be because the crowd will be pumped up, right? So I think we are going to score 3-4 goals in that game.
yeah.
Even
That's
if we
what I'm saying.
experiment, I mean, I'm feeling very confident.
We'll
Hmm.
score 3-4
It's
and
at home.
consider 1-2 at home.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, we are going to concede. Clean sheet तो नहीं हो रहा ये season,
Yeah.
but 3-3 तो मारेंगे ही. The crowd भी pumped
I
up
think
रहने वाला
last year
है.
we played the same
I
opponents
think
in
it's not
Europa.
first game back.
PSV.
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat us also.
Yeah.
Yeah, PSV they beat us. Yeah.
Yes,
Sevilla
Like
is
Gakpo
going
and
back.
Xavi Simon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Xavi Simons, yeah.
And thankfully, is no more
Very
there.
better. No Gakpo, no
Both of them
Xavi.
are not a part of the squad anymore. So
Yeah.
that adds up a bit better for us, I guess.
Yeah. And Spurs फिर ठीक है फिर EFL में I think hopefully a few academy folks but ठीक है Brentford it's
David
challenging.
Raya. सबसे बड़ा तो Raya आएगा
Raya
Brentford
आएगा
में.
against his former club
I
सीधा.
feel UCL में आएगा. PSV
UCL
के
में
अगेंस्ट
आएगा.
Raya आने वाला है.
Yeah, like
अच्छा
the
you feel
Bengal.
UCL में आ जाएगा Raya?
UCL will come definitely.
Oh
Yes.
100%.
Because for Cup, I guess Raya रहेगा and for the Premier
Oh.
League, I think
I
Ramsdale
think not sure, but Mail Sports, Times Vimes are already reporting Rai is trying to now push for spot 1 in the league also.
yeah, in the number 1 spot. Hence
And-
the Ramsdale performance. Last game क्या खेला Ramsdale?
क्या खेला है कल? I don't know if you all saw the compilation
Yeah,
from.
Yeah, we saw must
My
kill.
God,
Thanks to Harry Maguire for getting that clean sheet taken from him.
come on, man. But still, man, so much. I don't remember Ramsdale itna calm for us also. The last time that he had a calm game was against Southampton in 21-22 में कि आराम से कर रहा है passing. But ठीक है, it is what it is.
I think he's best when pushed against the wall. That's all.
Let me put up a question for you all, right? Do you really want to win the EFL Cup or you're okay if you're out of it?
I would say
Okay.
okay.
Out,
Out.
okay.
FA Cup.
I didn't
I
expect
will
that.
feel better to compete.
Go for it.
Go for it. Seriously.
No, matlab, I'm not saying put first 11, but put a team that can compete.
Yeah.
Compete in it.
RB team can probably reach the quarters or semis.
Exactly.
Depends
I
on
mean,
the
if we
opponent.
don't face if we don't face tough opponents, I think we can get there. But I would not prioritize it because there are important competitions.
Correct.
Yeah,
And like to think of it, last time there was also this reason we got out of these cups very early. So all these second string players, they didn't get any matches to play eventually.
Exactly.
Like Emile Smith Rowe, when he was fit, he didn't get anything to play. It was just a Premier League and we are pushing for the title. So I think so that can help us out if we, go on in this kind of cup tournaments. But yeah, let's see. Like quarters is fine for me. Quarters, semis, max. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing with me is like the injuries. Injury concern hai. Our players are quite injury prone. Like At least that's what I feel. Otherwise, I would always prefer, those a game every 3 days because that keeps the momentum up. But यही हमारे प्लेयर फिर इंजर्ड हो जाएंगे कब गेम में फिर वो लीग में कॉस्ट करेगा एंड लास्ट सीजन वही हुआ विद सलीबा
Yeah.
Yeah.
पॉइंटलेस
Oh God,
नॉट पॉइंटलेस बट
that was the point where it all changed for us.
I think
Saliba's injury.
this season ऐसा है कि
But
भाई
वो
game
थोड़ा
every
पेस
3 days, but it's an important game every 3 days. Like Champions League को
Yeah.
तुम यूरोपा जैसा नहीं देख सकते कि game every 3 days. Like तुमको starting 11 खिलाना है every 3 days. उसके बीच में अगर
Yes.
स्पेशली दिसंबर जनवरी शेड्यूल में तुम्हारे ईएफएल गेम्स भी आ जाएंगे, इट वोंट बी आइडियल विथ आवर करंट डेप्थ, बट आई मीन नॉट दैट द डेप्थ इज बैड, बट यू नो व्हाट आई मीन, राइट? बट ठीक है, देखते हैं.
If you just see, we have City and Chelsea back to back, so we have a
Yeah.
good break.
Before that, there's
But
Bournemouth and Lon, and
yeah,
is there a okay City के बाद there is a break and then we have Chelsea.
there's an international break again. Yes.
हाँ.
No, Chelsea is fine. I don't think so. We need to
I think
We don't.
I have one. I think this we need to win the City game. अगर if we lose that game and then there's a big break, तो थोड़ा mood खराब करेगा. I think even like
Yeah,
fan base
Raunak
maybe
said
has fallen.
this year
But if we win,
it's about
but if
this
we win that
question
game,
if we are going to beat City or not. We want to
if we
beat
win
them.
that game, then I think ये बहुत confidence build करेगा. बहुत build
ऐसा
because
समझो कि we
one
are
man.
building up for that game. We are building up
It-
for that game. Whatever Mikel is trying to do is for that game and that game only.
Next
Yeah,
one
If we
month.
win that game now, I feel we are going for the league this season. Trust me, guys. We are going for the league this season.
I think
We
Community
are going
Shield
for the
was
league.
The
also.
reason,
We have to. We are. We have
We
to go
have
for
to.
the league
We
this
have to go for
season
the
now.
league.
I think what
I was
Ashish
thinking
means
that,
is कि we will be, I think, winning.
Yeah,
the
we are
league.
serious in a sense. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
and
Because
Yeah.
last year
suggesting
की
that
वो दो game ने अपने को खराब कर दिए. The way we lost it in both the games, everything turned against us. And then we started actually screwing up against the smaller teams also. वो confidence इतना बेकार गिर गया ना अपना कि we started drawing those games which we shouldn't have actually. चलो
Yeah.
उनसे भी 2 मैच हारने के बाद we had the momentum to catch up with them, but then हमने वो पूरा momentum ही बिगाड़ दिया. We ended up
and
bad.
यही रीजन मुझे लग रहा है कि इसकी वजह से probably Arteta won't change his team because वो confidence and momentum रखने के लिए he might be keeping the same team at least for the Premier League. बाकी का मैं बोल नहीं सकता.
Yeah. And I think someone mentioned, I'm not sure who, but ESR, right? I think that's the one topic that no, I think it's going under the carpet a bit because team ठीक ठाक कर रहा है, Fabio Vieira especially मचा रहा है, so nobody is missing ESR. But yeah, it's a very peculiar situation. I don't know what's happening. 0 minutes almost. I think he came on in one of the games, not sure, but almost as
I
good
guess
as
United वाला game आया, he came in, right? For United. Against United he came in.
United. He did not.
No, he did not.
I think he came in
Okay.
for Nottingham.
Nottingham, maybe he did.
Maybe,
But
yeah.
basically as good as no minutes this season so far without being out injured. Like he's apparently fit. What do you think about the situation here, ESR? There was also a situation wherein we were considering selling him. There were reports. It
Yeah,
has come
Chelsea
down to a
was in for
very
him and they wanted to give us their superstar Mudrik in swap for ESR. So
yeah.
that was a bit
Ukrainian brother.
confusing that what is this reason why we didn't go for selling him and still we are not yet playing him. Like you said, he's not injured, right?
No,
Let me-
honestly, I don't think it's a surprising situation. I'll tell you for a couple of things. I think ESR came into the scene when we had no creator under Emery. Remember, Ozil को निकाल दिया था, विलियन को 10 पे ट्राई किया, विलियन को भी निकाल दिया था, फिर लाकासेट को 10 पे ट्राई किया, लाकासेट को भी निकाल दिया. Then ESR came in. And I think he played well, but he'll take time coming into the current team. I don't think he's at the level to play first team
post
regularly.
injury.
हाँ.
I guess पूरा dynamics ना Odegaard पर depend करता है. If Odegaard का the left side is sacrificed and if he plays the right side, if he plays left side में, so even Havertz and ESR they can occupy the right side का position. And if you guys remember, then Saka and Smith Rowe का combination was deadly,
Made in Ireland.
way more deadlier than Odegaard and Saka. अगर याद रखेंगे, मतलब किसी ने देखा रहेगा. And ESR का burst is much better and the output of ESR is much better than Odegaard, I feel. अगर
Is or
उसको
I
was.
remember that game, Raunak, Saka and Smith Rowe played against Tottenham. That game where he scored.
Yeah.
See the
टेरिफिक गेम,
I
मतलब
think we are
अगर चल
missing
जाता
a
ना भाई 7 से 8 गोल तो डाल देते हैं दोनों बच्चे मिलके,
we are
दिल से
missing
बोल।
a
क्योंकि
key thing here is
मुझे
that
मुझे लगता है कि इन द latter stages of the season we'll be having a conversation regarding Odegaard because Odegaard का positioning पे बहुत कुछ मैटर करने वाला टीम का because
So I think
LCM we won't be buying a left-sided midfielder that's for sure कि पैटिनो आने वाला है तो वो तो छोड़ ही दो चार्ली पैटिनो को eventually integrate करने वाले हैं but for Havertz to excel in midfield and for ESR वो दोनों राइट साइड के ही प्लेयर्स है वो लेफ्ट में नहीं खेल सकते
I
yeah,
don't think
Nobody's
Odegaard
going
is.
to take over from Odegaard.
Uh,
Nobody's taking over from Odegaard.
No, it's very
Like
difficult.
he's the guy.
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
He's
Odegaard is
he's
not
the
only about
captain.
your
He's the
match
reason why we are so
performance.
good.
Yeah,
ऑब्वियसली लीडरशिप है ओडेगार्ड इज कंप्लीटली
exactly.
डिफरेंट मैं वो नहीं बोल रहा हूँ बट फॉर देम टू इंटीग्रेट वो सब देखना पड़ेगा फॉर
I
आर्टेटा इज
I
व्हाट आई एम
like
I
ट्राइंग
think
टू
so.
से
this.
With ESR, what happened is like I remember when we signed Odegaard, it was like Odegaard is a player who is creative, but he won't score goals. That's why we had that whole Madison and
Yeah,
Odegaard, we should go for
yeah,
Madison. And ESR became very direct during that time.
yeah.
But then he got injured, and his goals, Saka scored his goals, and now Odegaard is scoring his goals. So
Correct.
right now, I don't think there is
Hmm.
space for him. But yeah, probably
I think
because he's
he'll
an
start
academy
Champions
player.
League.
Guys,
He'll start.
This
वो एक
season,
I don't know why
Yeah.
this
bro,
dynamic of if you look at ESR's best numbers or his best season or his best phase, it came from the left wing position. And none of
Yes.
us discussed that possibility of ESR on the left wing. I don't want to see him personally on the left wing. More, I want to see him on the RCM roles, but maybe Mikel also sees him there. But his best role came on the left. Now that we have
but
Trossard, Nelson,
बट वो
back then it was a
स्टैक्ड है
bit different because
लेफ्ट
You had KT overlapping. You had KT overlapping back then, so ESR would cut in. This season,
There have been
हाँ
like
multiple
nowadays,
players
we
who
have
have played in that position, I feel. Since ESR was injured, like Sahil said, इतने लोग ने आके वहां पे खेलना चालू किया कि वो
hmm,
ना वो पूरा इट्स लाइक ESR को अभी कोई देख ही नहीं रहा है खाली भी
hmm,
स्क्वाड में. ही इज मेड टू सिट बिकॉज लाइक
वैसा नहीं
ट्रोसार्ड
है
इज
ऊपर ऊपर से कैसा है ना सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट कि जो
Yeah.
लेफ्ट बैक है ना वो इन्वर्ट हो रहा है सो लेफ्ट विंगर को नेचुरली डिफेंड करने को पीछे आना पड़ रहा है सो आई डोंट फील कि
winger
ये सर का उतना पेस
ESR
है
वो कर
लाइक
सकता है. ESR
जीसस
में वो
और
नहीं कैपेबिलिटी
मार्टिनेली जो पीछे अगर डिफेंड भी कर पाए
he can
डिफेंड
do
भी
the
कर
बिकॉज
सकता
Grealish
मार्टिनेली
role.
जीसस
Hmm.
he
Yeah.
can for I think he can play the Grealish role
And the thing about is, like Ashish said, itne log aaye and they have played so well. Like Zaka, we know how he played last season. I don't think ESR could have matched that coming from an injury and the way Odegaard is playing right now. So he has been very unlucky when it comes to that injury, but we know what potential that guy has. So let's see.
and that's one
Let's see.
reason we did not sell him, in the transfer window. There
Exactly.
was a lot of demand. Chelsea were ready to do anything. They were ready to swap deal or maybe cash plus player, but Mikel did not go for it. He wanted him to stay there. So I feel potential है. कुछ तो मिकेल के मन में है कि भाई ये बंदे को किधर तो कहीं तो सेटअप कर देगी टीम.
Mikel
He
has
will play.
always been very vocal and he's always been a fan of Emile, but just that, I mean, the injury doesn't help. Siddhesh, I want to peculiarly ask you about this because I know the type of players that you like, and Emile was one of those. Like, he's that kind of player, the closest that we've got to a Cesc at Arsenal. So, what is your opinion on Emile Smith Rowe?
I think first of all the injury has cost him a lot, and getting back into fitness, I think it took him good year to get back into fitness. But during that time, we became much better. We got much better players. Other players started performing well. I think there is space. I think considering Havertz का तो वो कुछ पता नहीं लग नहीं रहा है कर पाएगा कि नहीं. अगर वो नहीं कर पाता है तो I think he still has space. He needs to become a bit stronger. I think वो थोड़ा physicality लाएगा then I think he can provide and get into duels. I think that will be a good way for him to get into the team. And once he is in the team, once he is comfortable, we all know what skill he has on the ball. Close control, dribbling,
Yeah.
shooting, passing, anything. He can do all of that. It's just about confidence and his physicality and staying fit. And once he breaks in, he has to stay there. Like he can't, take his foot off the gas. He has to be there. So hopes lost me है इसके साथ, but he has to step up. I say like we can't carry him for more like एक दो साल और carry नहीं कर सकते.
Hmm.
He
True,
has to
true.
step up now or or else like we have to sit him in the summer because he can't be wasted on the bench. He's too good of a player to be wasted and not get any minutes in the
I feel
Premier
उसको
League.
अनविल करेगा
So
किधर ना किधर
that's
एक
the
बार
thing.
कोई एक गेम में
मुझे
ही
लग
विल
रहा है
बी
उसको राइट विंग पे खिलाने वाले ये लोग,
खिलाएंगे
Not a
उसको.
bad idea, not a bad
Yeah,
shout.
not a bad idea.
लाइक ओजिल रामजी था ना, वो
Yeah,
इंटरचेंज करते थे
But
मिडफील्ड एंड
I
I
विंग्स
think
think
में.
Carabao he should will start in the Carabao, but yeah,
Maybe
let's see.
Brentford वाला game he will play. I feel the Brentford game he will be there.
Carabao वही,
Yeah.
yeah,
बिकॉज वियरा विंग्स पे नहीं खेलने वाला है, वो तो कंफर्म हो गया. वियरा का
वो
एक ही अभी
confirm.
पोजीशन बन गया है, तो ESR एक है जो आई थिंक वो आर्टेटा माइट ट्राई टू प्ले.
Fabio is your able RCM replacement for Odegaard as well. RCM से he will be much more better. But ठीक है यार,
नहीं
let's
नहीं,
see.
you can't compare Odegaard with Fabio. I'm sorry, you can't do that.
No,
Fabio
He-
is too direct. Fabio
about
सिर्फ
the angle.
आउटपुट मशीन है.
it's different. It's different. Just that I think
different.
RCM में Fabio can be
About
much
the
better
angle.
or much effective than LCM. So that's what that was. I mean, he will find your Kai Havertz from right wing, right? अगर Kai
Yes.
Havertz वो LCM में
Fabio
है,
फॉर मी वो एक आउटपुट मशीन है, उसको आगे किधर भी खिला दो, उसको सिर्फ वो
किधर भी
स्पेस
खिला दो.
ढूंढना है, वो उधर से डाल देगा बॉल. But you can't
Hmm.
expect him to press the opposition regularly. You can't expect him to, be in that position or
Yeah.
keep the ball. वो counter press भी नहीं कर
He's
सकता.
prone to losing balls. If we actually make him
Exactly,
play
exactly.
that way, and that might cost us big time.
So
at the moment he's
And
really
that
happy.
Odegaard who plays with his brains, he knows where to actually act.
At the moment he's really happy playing with his bestie Nelly on the left. So yeah, we have been looking at. So we've almost covered every topic there. If there's anything that you want to cover before we wrap up, anyone feel free to bring it on. Else we are good and we can wrap this up. Nothing in particular that we might have missed, right?
I think so. We
I
didn't
guess the
miss,
next
but
time we
it's
can
just
speak
kind
more
of
good
a
about Havertz, I guess.
yes or no
something.
question. Do you think this is the right time for Mikel to experiment around?
If
Right
not
time.
now, never. So I think if he has to experiment, it has to be now.
First 5-10 games.
yes,
First 5-10 games is fine, but
Yeah.
like we've drawn just one game. We're just 2 points behind. But फिर
Yeah.
भी देख के लगता है we're 2 points behind.
Exactly.
Standards.
Like he
Standards.
that kind of
Fogging standards.
exactly. We also have to up our standard.
So you'd be happy if he uses like
Points behind
50
the other.
formations
So I
now.
mean,
Now how much? 60, 70 formations in a single game.
all I
Something
want
we
is
have.
to win. वो 110
Yeah.
formations करके
So
our
what do
base
you
structure
guys
cannot
think,
change.
what are your predictions? Where are we finishing? Where are we going in UCL?
Okay, let's do one
I
thing.
think-
I'll help navigate this around, right? I'll ask everyone. First we'll do maybe predictions. Then we'll say where we want. Obviously, want तो तुम लोग quadruple बोलोगे. तो ठीक है, let's do prediction only then. Let's not say want. Okay, Vishwam, predictions Arsenal across
I
all
think
competitions.
we win the league this season.
Okay, that's good.
Champions League quarters, and we are out.
We go out to who? Just a wild guess.
I don't know how the
Fine.
table is structured. Left side, right side पे कौन है? But
Random.
I think we go out to maybe
Don't say Bayern.
no, I'm not saying PSG, Napoli.
PSG.
I don't know either.
Okay, a blue team. Okay, I'll remember. Okay, so Raunak, league position. Oh, what about domestic competitions, Vishwam?
नहीं EFL में तो we'll go. I'm pretty sure ऐसे even if we reach quarters, we'll face some Sunderland or someone and we'll 1-0 बस.
Vibe.
FA
Full
Cup,
vibe.
I think FA Cup we can try. We have that much depth.
It's our cup,
League
man.
and FA Cup. We
Yeah.
can try.
Raunak.
लीग में आई थिंक we'll finish second. UCL का मेरे को gut feeling बोल रहा है we might win the
Of course.
UCL. ऐसा पता नहीं, gut feeling बोल रहा
I
है.
won't mind
Because,
that season at all.
And FA Cup तो definitely we're gonna win. EFL का तो I guess ये round में अपन निकल जाएंगे. कुछ भी करके ना.
Brentford, brother.
भाई रौनक ने जब भी बोला सेकंड, आई वाज लाइक ओके, रौनक इज गोइंग टू गिव प्रैक्टिकल. फिर बोला चैंपियन लीग जीत रहा, फिर मेरे को लगा अरे मतलब प्रैक्टिकली सोचते हुए भी वो बोल रहा है कि चैंपियंस लीग जीतने
हाँ
वाले तो
नहीं, मुझे लगता है कि वी हैव अ टीम जो ऐसा नॉकआउट गेम्स खेल सकते हैं।
या
नॉकआउट टीम है अपना। अभी दे वोंट बॉटल इट एनी मोर बिकॉज ऑफ
एविडेंस
वो
तो है।
एक्सपीरियंस आ गया
हम्म,
है। एंड वी हैव एडेड डेक्लन राइस जो जनरेशनल टैलेंट है, एक
टचिंग ऑल द
विनर
गुड इन
रह
द
चुका
वर्ल्ड।
है। या द बेस्ट डीएम इन द वर्ल्ड फॉर। एंड देखते हैं देखते क्या
या
होता है, बट फिंगर्स क्रॉस्ड, आई थिंक वी आर गोना विन द यूसीएल।
गुड
आशीष।
वन।
लॉजिकली बोलने जाओ तो सोचो तो यू guys might feel मैं बहुत ambitious हूँ, but if we beat City, we are going to win this league for sure. पहला गेम सिटी गेम्स जीत रहे तो हम जीत रहे लीग भाई, फिर तो कोई ले नहीं रहा लीग अपने से। हाँ, if we lose that game like Raunak said, I then it's going to be second because we are still not ready. वो गेम अगर हम हार रहे हैं मतलब हम अभी भी रेडी नहीं है टू फेस देम, बिकॉज वी नो दे आर द बेस्ट करंटली एंड दे आर द बेस्ट क्लब इन द वर्ल्ड करंटली इन यूरोप ऑल्सो। सो यूसीएल आई फील सब सही से खेल लिए तो भाई सेमीज तक जा सकते हैं। आई डोंट क्वार्टर्स इज नॉट समथिंग दैट आई फील ये टीम के साथ हम सेमीज तक जा सकते हैं। अगर किसी से बाहर होंगे तो या इट वुड बी, आई एम सॉरी, इट वुड बी बायर्न और नापोली आई फील, जहाँ पे वी माइट जस्ट पुट आवर गन्स डाउन एंड गिव अप because it's too high to say that at this moment we will win the Champions League. But yes, we can give tough fights. I say this because since Mikel has joined us and since the last 2 seasons, what the difference that I see, which most of you guys would agree, is even if we are a goal down, we don't lose hopes.
Yeah.
अपने टीम में वो एक बात है, और यूनाइटेड वाला वो गेम एक एग्जांपल था। विद इन
Yeah.
जस्ट अ फ्रैक्शन ऑफ अ मिनट वी गॉट दैट गोल बैक। और एक टाइम था जब हमारा एक गोल जाता था ना भाई, खत्म हो गया अपने गेम, दैट्स इट, डन। फिर उसके भाई फिर कंटिन्यूस 2 3 4 अपन सिटी तो भाई अपने को पूरा पूरा लंदन दिखा देता था एक साथ एक ही गेम। तो आई फील दैट 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 स्पिरिट इज समथिंग दैट आई मेक्स मी फील दैट यूसीएल में सेमीज तक तो है अपनी औकात आराम से। ईएफएल आई डोंट कंसिडर टू बी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बट या तामझाम करके भी निकाल लिया इप्सविच, सनडरलैंड, ब्रेंटली, बेंटफोर्ड जो भी आएगा सामने, हाँ जा सकते हैं यार उधर भी, सेमीज तक निकाल सकते हैं। फिर तुक्के में जीत गया तो अच्छी बात है, चलो कुछ नहीं तो जीत
I don't
गया। एफए
care
कप
about
इज
the
समथिंग।
as long as we win the FE EFL Cup, it's okay. Otherwise, I don't care about it. So,
I don't. I actually, it's like that way. But yeah, FA Cup is something. Yeah, we as usual we are
we should
always
go for
at the
it.
top. That's something that we it belongs to us. I feel वो एक
Yeah.
कप है जो वो तेरा हक से अपना है भाई, तुमने
Madrid
हारना
और
है।
Champions League जैसा है.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I feel वो हमारा ही है। बाकी I
Yeah.
feel with everything going in the right track, I feel it would be a bright season if we don't ourselves screw it. I feel it
Yeah.
will be our season.
Sahil.
Yeah, I
सॉरी
think
टू
so.
इंटरप्ट, एक पॉइंट बोलना है। आई डोंट नो इफ यू गाइस विल एग्री और नॉट, बट जैसा अपना सीजन चल रहा है, जैसा अपना मेंटालिटी बिल्ड हो रहा है ना, दिस टीम इज द टेलर मेड टीम फॉर नॉकआउट कॉम्पिटिशंस।
Yes. True.
दैट्स द रीजन व्हाई मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि यूसीएल में देयर इज अ चांस, बिकॉज वो उधर मेंटालिटी टेस्ट होगा, उधर सब कुछ इंजन सब टेस्ट होने वाला है। लीग में सिटी का भरोसा नहीं है, वो एक गियर अप कर सकते हैं, बट नॉकआउट्स में वो चांस नहीं रहता अगली टीम के पास। सीधा एक
एक
गेम वो
पॉइंट था
मैंने कहीं
रौनक, आर्सेनल आर्सेनल एक पॉइंट था रौनक, एक पॉइंट था, एक सीजन एक टाइम हुआ करता था जब आर्सेनल खेलता था ना, तो कोई भी टीम को ऐसा लगता था यार ये लोग कुछ नहीं है, निकाल सकते हैं इनके अगेंस्ट के। आज लोगों की फटती है इंक्लूडिंग सिटी। इवन पेप इज स्कैर्ड ऑफ दिस, ही मेक्स अ प्लान सेपरेट फॉर आर्सेनल। उसको पता है भाई कि ये टीम कुछ भी कर सकता है अगर इनका दिन रहेगा तो आज के पॉइंट पे। एंड इट्स समथिंग दैट आई एम रियली प्राउड ऑफ। जब पेप अपने से डरता है मतलब भाई बड़ी बात है, ट्रस्ट मी,
let's
अपने
let's
कोच लाइक पेप।
let's put a reward to all of this because subjectively we are doing great. We're taking great steps, great strides.
Yeah.
I think it's about time we add a trophy or two to all of this, right? Otherwise,
Yeah.
what does history remember as us as? So, Sahil.
Yeah, same. Like I don't want to keep my expectations very high. So I'll put Arsenal second for the league. When it comes to Champions League, I think so. I agree with these guys. I think so. We can make the semis for some reason. I'm not sure. It's just that the youthfulness that we have, and everyone wants to be in it. Like if you see, there are very few players who have played in the Champions League that we have in this team. So I feel they'll go full 200%. They'll go into that kind of a tournament. But when it comes to the two cups, I feel FA Cup. I feel we should win because that's our right to win that cup. And when it comes to AFL, yes, semis, because I feel that's the only competition I would say we have where we can put in the second string players. So I want us to go as long as we can in that kind of a competition. So yeah, probably that.
Right, right. I think Champions League का रौनक ने जो point बोला, another thing is this year we've unlocked. I think I'm not sure if I put it on the group. We've unlocked that long range shots from a few players. Bukayo has got it in his locker. Odegaard has got it in his locker, and you need those.
Even Fabio Vieira, उसका दिन रहता
He's
है तो
always
he's
had
a
it.
left foot.
Absolutely.
Trossard.
Trossard is our best ball striker in the squad. So we've got that across the front line, and that is necessary for your Champions League games, right? So I'm too happy. Odegaard, Saka both have unlocked that in their locker. So yeah,
Plus,
that's
it's more about the mentality. We have that mentality कि games निकाल लेंगे because bench से भी players like Nelson and Fabio Vieira, even NKT Eddie, whenever they come in they give their 200%, and that's what is needed from a team. And देखते हैं क्या होगा, fingers crossed है.
yeah. Plus low block तो we eat for breakfast. So उसका stress नहीं, बस भाई set piece में BT होता है. बाकी open play से तो if we are up, we put a low block in Champions League games and we don't have holding anymore, but it's okay. I think anyway we've got one of the best low blocks in the world. बस set piece में BT, Fulham जैसा BT नहीं चाहिए. Siddhesh,
Yeah.
your predictions.
I mean, I'm not 100% confident that we will win, but I'd rather say it because manifest करना. So we are going to win the league. First, I'm predicting, and cups ka I'm not taking. I don't think we will take it that seriously. I mean, I don't know. Let's see where we get to. And with Champions League, I think quarterfinals तो bare minimum. I think we are very good enough to get there. Semi-final भी जा सकते हैं because quarters में अच्छे draws मिले तो I think we can beat a team when we are at that stage. Semis में maybe हार जाएंगे when actual big boys come around. But I think I'm very hopeful for the season. I think जीत सकते हैं. Tough रहेगा, but I think we can do it.
Yeah.
January में बस player add करना है, whatever we need. At that moment,
Yeah.
we can do it.
Correct. You're winning the league.
Even what I feel is, I think league
Yes,
में
bro.
my expectation is need more points than last season, and let's see where that takes us. Right? I think 84 was where we reached. So
Just
realistically,
a small pointer. I think now because the team has started building up and it'll blow up towards the latter end is what I think. I think we might go for 100-pointer, but that's a little far off. But still.
century. I mean,
ऐसा
see,
हुआ ना एक beer मेरे तरफ से तेरे को पक्का.
100 points में तो एक बियर दे रहा है भाई. ये तो
अरे भाई बहुत महंगा है आजकल सर.
पूरा ग्रुप को बियर देना चाहिए तुझे.
चलेगा. टीटी को हराया ना रौनक पहले तेरे घर पे आके.
So yeah, my expectation is 6 more points than last season. Realistically, ठीक है. First half में we outperformed ourselves. Like 50 points, I think, if I'm not wrong, first 19 games में मिला था, which is on our way to century.
Yeah.
But not expecting all of that. Just 6 more points, a 90 pointer would be great wherever that takes us. That is where I expect of ourselves. Of City, if they go out and if they decide for themselves कि भाई we don't want to lose any game whatsoever, वो अलग बात है. But let's get to 90 points. Knockout competition, FA Cup, Mikel, FA Cup में ना होते हुए भी we end up winning a FA trophy like Community Shield. We absolutely attract those trophies. So FA में भी यार FA Cup मिला तो great. Champions League same sentiments as you all. So yeah, thank you so much. That was a great first podcast. We'll obviously learn from this and we'll come on and get more relevant topics. We'll maybe do a trivia or so as the table takes shape, maybe discuss about other teams if we want to. So we'll do all of that. Thank you, Vishwam. Thank you, Raunak. Thank you, Siddhesh. Thank you, Sahil. Thank you, Ashish. Next time we promise you Sahil and Siddhesh will also have a background. And hopefully Ashish will be on a laptop. So that is where we are in our progress.
And better internet connection.
Better internet, yeah. You will see how you sounded in the YouTube video, Siddhesh.
How did I sound?
You'll see. Okay, guys, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Do like the video, subscribe, and all of that. We'll see you
Thanks,
very
Saurabh.
soon.
Oh.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night everyone.
Thanks. Good night, everyone.